welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Lebanon Town Council. If we could all rise for our invocation that will be given this evening of Miss Nyla Fields, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you today for all of our many blessings. Lord, so many that I couldn't count mine, I know, and I'm sure everybody here feels that same way. Lord, I ask that you watch over us as we make decisions here and help us to make wise decisions. And if we follow your guidance, Lord, we can't go wrong. Thank you that we live in this little town, that we can walk the streets safely, and thank you for just planting us where we are. And Lord, may we bloom where we're planted and do everything in your wisdom and for your good and your glory and the good of this community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've received our agenda packet. Do we need to do any editing to the agenda this time?
Mayor, the gold award for the water plant will be moved to July meeting.
So postpone? Okay. I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended here.
So moved, Mayor. I'll second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We also received minutes from our May 12th regular meeting and our May 29th call meeting. Everyone had a chance to review those? Is there a motion regarding the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve all of these dates.
Okay. Motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. See, we have an addition here, Drew, to the accounts. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Item B there.
Okay. Anything in addition to this that you need?
No, sir.
All right. We'll have a chance to review those, Mr. Gilmer.
I have, Mayor, and I'll make a motion to approve the May accounts payable along with AP preliminary report B for May.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have a Lebanon resident who used to be a Lebanon resident here with us this evening, and Miss Susie Quillen Mays. I know her as Susie Quillen. So Susie, you had a public request. Would you like to come forward?
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you. A long time.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
That's my husband, Ron.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Or Ron. But just wanted to thank y'all for putting me on the agenda. I know last meeting that they talked about the Quillen Hill and all that. So I just wanted to clarify any questions you all might have about that. But my name is Susie Quillen Mays, and I now reside in Charlotte. I did live here my whole life. And I always like to think my heart's here, but my life is somewhere else. So this will always be my hometown, and I'm proud of it. And many of you knew my dad, Steve Quillen, who was a lawyer here in town for over 60 years. He too grew up here, went away for about 7 years for education, came back, never left. And unfortunately, we lost him back in January, as you all know. But what we were talking about, we have I think y'all have a plat of what we were talking about, but it just kind of came to our recognition that my great-grandfather, back in the 1900s, he was Stephen Banner Quillen, and he purchased some land here in town that's referred to as the Quillen Hill, which is right back here. It basically extends from Lively Avenue, and then it goes back, and we have a big green water tank, and it goes over the top of the hill and halfway down the backside. So in 1956, he had a survey done, and when I say survey, they use stumps, trees, and just good old footsteps. So there's nothing that's really concrete on that. But he was really serious about developing a subdivision going up the hill. And so what he did was he gifted, or we're thinking he gifted the town the land under the water tank, and he gifted the town roads for his subdivision. Well, here we are about 70 years later, and obviously the subdivision never developed. Judy Lockridge owns one part of it over on this side. So you had, did y'all need to see the plats, or can y'all see where Pine Street is?
Yeah, we saw it earlier.
And there's Oak Street and Quillen Street. And so what has happened is, so we have the water tank, and then I just call it a watershed. The town built, I think they control a lot of stuff from it. So it comes halfway in through what, Hill Street? Hill Street.
Oak Street.
Oak Street.
Oak Street.
Mhm.
See, Mom?
Yeah, already
Okay.
messed up the first question.
So of course, the town, what we would like is the town to keep that. And maybe, I just feel that it would maybe benefit all of us if we were gifted back those streets. The town keep the street there, and, you know, below the water tank where the watershed is, and then of course the land of the water tank. And I think it would just help all parties involved, because you all wouldn't have to build roads, which I doubt you all want any more roads to have to maintain. And we don't really want roads back there anyway. But I thank you for your time, and do y'all have any questions?
So Quillen Street actually services the water tank, correct?
Oak Street.
When I thought I just went up there and Quillen Street, there's not a road.
So it's not an actual road on there, but on the map, what's labeled as Quillen Street on the plat that was drawn out, that's basically an easement right of way that we use to get to the pump station. The town actually has two lots back there that the pump station and the water tank are on. But on the plat, it's identified as Oak Street that we're using.
Quillen Street, though, gives you access of a vehicle to the tank.
According to this,
According to, I just left from up there.
Yeah, we almost probably missed each other. I just left up there about 30 minutes ago myself, just looking at it one last
So
time.
we access it from the middle streets to the top street, is that correct, Drew?
Oak Street, you access the pump station, but the water
So
tank
we
is
actually-
directly up the hill, but there's no roadway or no way to access the tank
Right.
unless you go through Quillen.
Well, what it is we use Oak Street to get down to the bottom of the tank and then go straight through the grass to get up to the tank. Because we own those two lots. The lot that the tank is on and the lot the pump station on, the town owns those two.
That sounds crazy to me, though, because it's like there's the River Rock, and it's steep grade, and there's a road on Quillen that goes right over to the tank. I spent a lot of time on that road growing up, going over to the water tank.
Okay.
I mean, Larry Fuller lived up there.
in the house there, going up to the Lockridge's at the
Yes.
bottom of the,
Yeah, on Angle.
is it near these yellow, plots?
There's a house between Quillen and Oak Street and Angle.
Okay,
It's
You
there on
can
the corner.
Yeah, right there on
I
the
see it.
corner. Probably represents maybe 3 or 4 of those lots.
I see it now.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is, if we're painting and maintaining those tanks, we would need Quillen Street, in my opinion, at least to the tank.
To the tank.
To the tank, yes, ma'am.
So you all would keep Oak and Quillen?
At
To the
least,
tank.
at least to the pump station and to the water tank.
Would you all pave those roads? Because I know that Quillen Street is just, you know, it's just mud.
Right.
And then I think Oak Street goes in front of that residence you were talking about. It cuts right in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, on the low end. Would it be possible to turn that property over and just give you all an easement in which to access the
A right of
tank for maintenance? Would that be a potential solution?
I think that would be a potential solution for me. I don't know about for the rest of the council.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Right away, be
Yeah,
sufficient.
right away, yeah. So are you all wanting to develop this or sell it?
Probably sell it in the future. We just wanted a clean survey, a clean everything.
So I guess what I'm saying, are these right of ways here, are they a hindrance for what you're trying to do? Just being transparent. No?
Well, it'll be cleaner if the property's just gonna turn back to the Quillens,
And-
yes.
Yeah, we want to sell it as a whole. We're not going to develop any subdivisions or anything like that. We just want to sell it as a whole if that does come up in the future.
Because
I was
actually,
just thinking for our kids, we just want to keep it nice and neat.
if you look at it right now, back to the Oak Street, which again is below the tank, and the Quillen Street, which is above the tank, and these roads really don't really exist as really roads. There are lots right here in between these roads that were never developed that are really just kind of landlocked. There's really nothing you can really do with it until we hopefully get this resolved.
So if we sell it as a group with an easement, does that solve that landlocked problem?
Yes, so again, it's my understanding Susie's great grandfather gifted the town
No
the
money's
land-
where it's changed.
the land for the roads, so we're just asking for those roads back. And it sounds like, just to address what I think is a very good point about the water tank, we get Quillen Street back, and then we just in turn offer you all a right of way in which to access the tank for future maintenance. So that's kind of the plan. What we think is hopefully a win-win proposal.
Yeah.
So you're willing to give Quillen Street, if we give Quillen Street back and Oak Street back, you're willing to give us a right of way on Quillen to the tank and Oak to the shed?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I guess that's the way it's, well, yeah, they've always had.
yeah, I mean, they've had access
To Oak.
on Oak Street already, at least half of it over to the bottom of the tank. You probably don't need it all the way over, it's just where the tank stops. But again, the whole idea here is really just trying to come up with a win-win that works for everybody.
Sure.
And I
that's
don't know
our-
if Dad gave right of ways, I don't
Yeah,
know, for
we-
the town, because that shed's it's only been there for what, I don't know, 15 years?
Yeah, we probably have to look to
So I don't
Kevin.
know.
That's a pump, is that a pump station?
That was installed in the tank up on top of the hill,
Uh-huh.
so it pumps from Quillen tank up to the top of the hill. So whenever the new tank is installed, that's when that pump
Okay,
station.
so it's a pump station.
Correct.
So, yeah, whatever you think kind of makes sense. I don't know if there's ever been anything papered up for Oak Street for that access, other than maybe an agreement, a verbal agreement. But if we need to paper up a right-of-way agreement to access it from the low end and access it from the high end,
We'd be more than happy to.
that, to me, that makes sense for everybody. But you gotta have access to it.
Yeah.
That's good. Kevin, is that a good solution here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, preserves the town's access to that.
How's everybody? Good? Does this require, you want us to make a motion on this?
Well, what
for
you're gonna
minutes?
have to do is you'll have to vacate
That's true.
the
These
street,
streets.
the rights of way.
Vacated,
Yeah, just like, I don't know if you remember when we did with the Baptist church.
right.
And then I can, you know, condition, I guess, on be granted easements.
Will you write it?
Yeah, I can
Agreement
write it. Yeah, yeah,
and work with him then?
yeah, absolutely.
So we need a motion to vacate Quillen and Pine and Oak.
And I think y'all wanted Hill vacated. Well, it'd be Quillen to the east of Angle Avenue. Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
Ms. Locker Jones, to the west of Angle Avenue.
Right. And then, we can't forget the Hill Avenue on the right side.
Yeah, the Hill
I see
Avenue.
you there.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think y'all have any use for that as well.
So do we know what's recorded?
This survey, that's a copy of it.
This is here from
So you-
1950.
Oh, you have, this. That's the survey right
Yeah,
there.
that's the actual survey.
and this is the original from 1956.
Okay.
Yes, which was recorded.
It's the same we're looking at right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So advise us there on the proper motion, please, Mr.
We're
Taylor.
putting the right of way on Quillen.
To the
Yeah,
water tank.
part of Oak, I guess.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
over to the tank.
Right.
And then the other over to the pump station.
10 feet? 20
Five.
feet?
Yeah, 12 feet before.
12 feet?
Even for maintenance on that tank?
Should be, one way in, one way out, so
Mhm.
that's close to what it is right now, and so that gravel road goes down there.
The access to that tank was usually on the far side of that tank,
From the top side,
from the top side.
I guess, since then, it's kind of grown over now, so that's why we've always accessed it from the bottom side, which 9 times out of 10, we're at the pump station instead of the tank itself.
Yeah.
When there's maintenance, we're at the pump station.
Does it have gravel on it? Do we maintain?
We maintain it, it's
Mhm.
it's not full gravel, but it's like a lane road, 2 gravel.
With 20,
The bottom, not the top.
20 feet around those structures, is that reasonable, so we can turn our vehicles and such?
Oh,
Well, you own the
Well,
lots.
we own the lots right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's kind of
You own
cul-de-sac
the lots.
lines.
It's
Those,
real
those
nice.
should be, that should be, if it's 2 lots, it should be 50 foot, because they're 25-foot lots.
Okay.
Is that our lots right there?
And then we would reserve the right to maintain that easement, correct? Okay.
So I think it'd be a motion to vacate Quillen Street east of Angle Avenue, Oak Street, Pine Street, and Hill Street, condition on receipt of 12-foot right-of-way over Quillen Street and Oak Street to the town's water tank and pump station. Does that sound?
And I did hear, I think it's a really good point, that you all have the right to maintain that right of way. Actually, because there'd be trucks going in and out, we probably hope you would want to maintain it.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have the ability.
We want to do that.
Is that your motion, Mr. Gilmer?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
We have a second, Mr. Lambert. Any further questions? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you all for being here. Nice to meet you.
So good to meet you. Thank you all as well.
We appreciate it. Thank
Okay,
you.
so it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Drew Riley Brooks not here yet.
Apparently not.
Okay. I believe you're up. That's right, you're up there, Mr. Short. Thank you very much. Everybody ready for Drew? Here we go.
Try to be quick tonight. We got, last meeting, we went through the, Little League MOU with the Little League in town, and made those, corrections that we had talked about. The new updated draft is in the information packet. Had a chance to look over it, we made those changes, so if we want to have, Brad as the Little League representative, and the mayor as the town representative, sign that agreement today. It's dated from, the 9th day of June 2025. Unless anyone else has any other changes. Ready to it?
We are. Our board was fine with it.
I move to approve the MOU between Lebanon Little League and the town of Lebanon there.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Drew, do you by any chance have an original that we can sign
I
while
can
we're
get
here
you out.
before we leave?
Yeah.
And Brad,
I can. Yes, sir.
go ahead.
My next item on manager's report is the Versa and Bayport proposals that I gave out at the budget meeting. Those are insurance proposals that we'll need to make a decision on tonight. Like I stated in my manager's report, Versa did come in, I think, around $6,000 to $7,000 more than Bayport. Beverly has reached out to me, and I agree with her that we would like, if you all agree, we would like to stay with Versa with the relationships we've built with them. And we also do receive somewhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a year in grants from them, so we're making up a little bit of money there.
I'd agree.
That's obviously-
I agree we stay with Versa myself. It's been beneficial to us over the years. They've helped us.
So moved, Mayor. Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign.
Thank you very much. Now we move on, we get to spend a little bit, hopefully, spend a little bit of capital outlay money from the sewer plant budget. If you look at your information page to pass the MOU, I've had Wes draw up a little bit of the summaries of some of the issues we've got going on at the wastewater plant. The first issue we have are our waste pumps. These are the pumps that actually take the waste, raw waste, and put it in our digesters to be able to move that forward and get it to the belt press to haul off. That motor, the motor is actually running right now. The pump is what is down. The three quotes that you see in front of you, one from Fisher Associates, one from USA Blue Book, and one from Buchanan Pump Service. The two top ones from Fisher and Blue Book do not include a new motor. The Buchanan Pump Service includes a new motor, which is not completely necessary. Right now, our motor is working. So,
How long would the motor work that?
that's the part of
How much
working.
would it
That's the
be-
part of
would
working
it
with Washway.
take up?
It's about $2,000. You're looking at Fisher Associates with the motor is around, their quote was still around 11,000 instead of 17,000. Still looking at a difference between 5,000 or 6,000. All of that cushion in Buchanan Pump's quote is not the motor. You're looking about roughly $3,000 for a motor. The biggest thing with Buchanan's is obviously the turnaround time.
Which one is it we have to get parts made for, the pump or the motors?
So the one that you're getting parts made for is actually a mechanical screen. That's not the pumps itself. Yeah.
Are you recommending the Buchanan pump?
I am recommending Fisher and Associates without the motor, and I'm using our original motor right now.
So we're okay, you think, on our original motor?
Yes, sir. For right now, we are. Like I said, the motor will go, there's two pumps. This is just replacing one right now that's down.
Mm-hmm.
And when we come back, maybe looking at next year's budget, we can, get some of that in there. We can possibly go with 17,000. I feel like looking at the original quotes, Fisher Associates, you can get a new motor and the pump for around 11,000 to 12,000. So I still feel like Buchanan pump at 17 is quite a bit.
Would they negotiate, do you think?
Buchanan pumps, I mean, it's worth a shot. But the biggest thing is if we want to look at that, I'd appreciate if you gave me like a number to try to get to. And if not, we move forward with Fisher Associates because this can't last another month without.
Still recommending Fisher and Associates, and even that, if we have to buy a new motor, it would still be less than.
It would still be
Buchanan.
less than Buchanan pump service.
So, with what you just stated, Drew, we need to take action because this couldn't last, we couldn't.
I wouldn't feel comfortable one another month without.
So, Fisher and Associates quoted lead time of 5 to 7 weeks.
Right.
Buchanan Pump is 1 to 2 weeks.
I mean, but I don't feel comfortable in another month waiting on a decision and then waiting up another 5 to 7 weeks, if that makes sense.
Okay, sounds good.
So we're okay
We
with the
have a
term.
motion on this, let's do the waste pumps first.
So I got a question before we go to the motion. These waste pumps, that's part of the PER, correct?
No.
These
These
are
are
not?
blowers.
Gotcha. So that's not part of
That's
this
not
E.
part of the upgrade.
Okay, so this is capital
None of
outlay.
this, none of this on here is
Okay,
is part
it's
of it.
capital outlay out of our own.
Yes, sir.
Current budget, right?
It is, the only thing that, I'll get to the next one in a minute about
All right.
that.
I have a motion regarding the waste pumps.
You think we'll be all right with the 5 to 7 weeks lead time?
I do.
Okay, I'll make a
Obviously, my
motion.
operators, they're wanting 1 to 2 weeks, but, you know, with that big of a price decrease, I think we can do 5 to 7 weeks.
Drew, I'd like to see if we can get Fisher and Associates to quote a pump also, even if we put it on the shelf
With the motor,
with the motor.
With the motor.
I mean, that way, if the motor goes down in 6 weeks,
City Board.
we,
$2,567.37, so a total of $10,770.89 with a pump and a motor.
That's with Fisher and Associates.
Fisher and Associates, yes, sir.
10,000 what with the pump?
$10,770.89. The motor's a total of $2,567.37.
You get that pump? Yeah.
So we could get this, I mean, that motor won't be any more if we buy it later.
Yeah, we'll.
Yeah, it will too.
Anything's gonna be more.
It's gonna go up.
So,
But it's just like I said, that's your battle with water, wastewater. The pumps that we have out wastewater and wastewater, they could last another 20 years, they could go out tomorrow. That's just, and they're expensive. That's the battle if you're looking at the infrastructure.
All right. I just wanna make sure I understood you. So
Yes, sir.
if we do Fisher and Associates with the pump, we add the pump to it.
With the pump and the motor. So
And the
all these-
motor,
Correct, pump
it's
and motor.
1077
Correct.
or 770.
Yes, sir.
So
So we would actually take, what we would do with that, Wes and I talked, what we would do with that, we would take the old motor, put it on the shelf. When we got that one, once it went down, we could put it in.
second.
Mr. Gilmer made a motion, Mr. Lambert seconded. Any further discussion?
Pump, motor, base, and freight.
I still like, it wouldn't hurt for you to make a call. See what you can get it for. See if they'll come to 10,000 even,
Okay.
Or none.
or 9,500.
Let's just see how good you are, Drew.
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
And this is kind of why I was looking at not going to that 17,000 right off the bat with mechanic pump, is because we have other purchases that are needed in the wastewater plant. The next one is our mechanical screen. It's the very first thing that the facility sees on the way in. It's the screen that catches all your grit, stretches all that. It was actually damaged the second storm, not Hurricane Helene, but the second storm that came through. So we've been manually cleaning that since then, and it's caused some issues. Hydrodyne is the only people we can, CO Logs won't even quote to come work on it. You have to pull it out. Hydrodyne out of Florida, the creator of it, are the only ones that we can get to give us a quote. And that quote's $13,192.51. And I'm not gonna promise anything, but I'm confident, I'm not promising, but I'm confident we'll get reimbursed by FEMA or DEQ for that one.
On that one? Do they come and help install it, or they send
They do
everything to you?
They do everything.
Oh, they do everything?
Yeah, this is them coming and installing.
Oh, okay. We gotta have that fixed. So that mechanical, you're saying it's damaged, correct?
It is inoperable right
You
now.
know,
Basically, it's working, but it's not working the way it should be.
I got you.
We're working it manually.
So moved.
Mr. Lambert made a motion to approve, is there a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion, all in favor say aye. Opposed?
I would like to put in the minutes that that was the only quote we could get on that thing.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
And as usual, Drew, do a little talking,
Well,
see what you can do.
I will do it. Last one for the wastewater is the UV ballasts. It's time to replace those again. And last time, I think we went with Trojan because those were the original ones that we went and the cleaners that we had. Wes has done some research on it, and I think his recommendation is the UV Superstore at $2831.85, because it has a better warranty coverage than Radwell. Radwell is $1,000 cheaper, but I think the warranty coverage is quite a bit better on the UV Superstore.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
UV Superstore.
Superstore. Motion and second, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Drew Till West, we appreciate him taking the lead down there.
Absolutely.
Doing research on that stuff. We know he's,
We have, and speaking of Wes, Wes, Todd, Jeff, I don't know if you guys realize, I'm sure I know you do, they've done a great job. We've had some trouble fighting some stuff out there, and we've retched, and we've had DEQs, gone on us about fixing some stuff, which some of this was what we just fixed. But if you look back, actually, we've lost over 100 years of experience at that sewer plant in about 5 years. So those guys have been out there, and it's still going, still operating, and they're still doing their daily jobs.
And their work ethic.
And their work ethic, they're doing a great job, so.
Tom, thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. My next quotes were, when we looked at doing the council room updates, we have a quote in here from Front Row Music, and also a gentleman from Richlands Arsenal Development. They have came and looked at the presentations for the TVs on each side, and also the streaming capabilities for the cameras in the council room. And those quotes are in and finished. I can't tell you, I'm not an IT guy, so I can't tell you if the equipment's apples to apples. But like basically, I can tell you, I told them what we wanted, and they sent the bids. So Front Row's bid came in at $27,482, and the Arsenal Development came in at $17,489 for a total. We sent two separate bids. One of those was $13,909, and the other one was $35,80 for a total of $17,489. Excuse me.
Hey, Drew,
Yes, sir.
again, this is me. I kind of like to table this. We've got a lot of infrastructure issues we've got to deal with. Some major issues with water and sewer. And I don't know right now that we need, I don't think we need to spend any money yet on the council room at all. Maybe we just ought to have to speak a little louder for current hearing aids, whatever.
I agree.
We can, and you've done well, you brought your, sometimes you brought your projector in here.
Correct.
We turn the lights off, we can, this is just me now, okay? Council will make a decision.
I agree with the mayor.
I think we've had this on our mind for a while, and
Yeah.
been trying to move for it. I think it's pertinent for our public to be able to hear our meetings and be able to watch them visually and virtually. So I respectfully disagree.
That's fine. Somebody make a motion, second, and we'll,
I'll make a
Put
motion
it on
that
the
we
floor.
move forward with Arsenal, and the proposed amount of $17,489 to upfit our council chambers for our public to have virtual capacities for our meetings.
for a second.
Second.
Further discussion?
I do have a discussion, quickly.
Okay.
Drew, have you talked to, I know if you've got a quote, you talked to them, it's hard for me to read a quote without talking to somebody that's actually developed this, but is this what we need and what we're looking for our intentions for the public?
Correct. So when I met with both Aaron from Front Row and the gentleman from Arsenal, we walked through council room, took them upstairs to attic where they would need to run the wires through. Basically what we want to do, like I said, we'll put a TV on this side, a TV on this side, so that way when someone comes, everything will be wireless, Bluetooth. When someone wants to present, they hook their laptop up to it, they'll go through there, we'll see their presentation on there. And it also installs a camera in the back for live streaming of the council meetings.
Sounds good.
Microphones.
Microphones, audio.
I wonder what the difference, why is there such a disparity in the quotes?
If you remember, Front Row's original quote was $40,000.
Yeah. So it comes 27, and what was the other one? 17. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? You get that, Ms. Dane? All right. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Hurry up there.
You don't have to be in a hurry.
I apologize, I don't have these quotes on your desk. I was just getting them, talking to Tom Miller from Southern Corrosion. We have a problem at the plant tank right now, which is the tank that sits above the water plant. There's a leak in the actual drain line that's under the tank. We've dug out, we were able to locate it. First, the reason Southern Corrosion came and helped us, remember, we have a maintenance contract with them on our tanks, the tank themselves. So they came, if it was on the tank, they were going to be able to fix it. But unfortunately, this is on the actual drain line that goes out of the bottom of the tank and underneath it. So I had them give me a quote to fix it, and that quote came back to go in there, excavate under, demo the old drain line, put a new ring plate in, a new drain line, weld all that back up, touch up inside the paint, sterilize the tank. It was $40,110. So I called Tom and told him we couldn't do that. So they came back, we're looking at it. So now our new plan is to actually get in there and steel weld a plate over the original drain and come to the bottom of the outside, and go through the outside of the concrete and put a 3-inch drain on the outside. That way we'll do any touch up, they can sterilize the tank, they can touch up inside. That cost is $18,616.
Does it fix your problem?
It fixes the problem.
Patch your problem.
No, it fixes, it just creates a new drain instead of the old drain. So this one we'd go, we'd hook the water hose up, basically, or a fire hose, 3-inch fire hose up to it, open it up, drain it that way, instead of the current drain that's in there right now.
This is the tank across Big Cedar up on the hill.
This is the tank across Big Cedar on the hill, and this tank currently is empty.
Okay.
But we are able to feed, it's the same elevation as the Quillen tank, so there's an altitude valve on it, so Quillen is actually
He does it.
Yep.
Okay.
What's the ETC on that?
This week.
What's the company?
Southern Corrosion,
Okay.
what we have a contract through.
Have a motion regarding this request for the water tank leak.
So I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We don't need, as far as bidding that, I don't think we need to bid that since we already have a contract with Southern Corrosion.
And I think it would fall into a specialty project.
Emergency.
Right? Okay, because we gotta get that thing filled back.
Yeah, you need it fixed. And we need it filled, correct. Okay, any other questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Last thing I have on my list here is just an update of the manor. Talked with Jeff again. It feels like everything is gonna work up there. But before they do the 4-way stop sign, he does want to run a couple of traffic counts that are going on those 2 roads. So they're gonna either let us run that traffic count or VDOT run that traffic count, and we'll have an answer on the stop sign. But he doesn't feel like the speed limit sign's be a problem. We can install those.
Could be.
And then the last thing I had, I don't know if you wanted to address on your own, but then you said you'd seen John's fire requests in his chief report. He had a request in there for a purchase. If you want me to to do that, or if you all want to do that later on, so. go ahead if you
What was the request?
want. He had, Atlantic Emergency Solutions, NAFCO, and all hands fire quotes are for a, let's see here.
Task force tips intake.
Yep, 2.5 inch female connections. Let's see.
Was it $8,000 and it was contingent on the funds available? in
He
the
has,
budget,
we met, and he has, around 5,000 to 8,000 left after his insurance payments and all that sort of thing. He was gonna wait and make sure he had it at the end of his budget, but I don't think it was quite that much. Which one was he
His
asking?
quotes are 3,600, 5,200, and 4,400, so he, I mean,
Yeah, I thought he actually had does he have a recommendation?
Atlantic, wasn't it?
Atlantic Solutions.
he did look like the approval to purchase these items through Atlantic Emergency Solutions.
Which is
They're very close
3675.66.
He has money in that account still, you want
Correct, and if not.
3,600 to me.
Yes, and that's what he's saying, he's, right now they have around 5,000 to 8,000 left. If anything comes up, power bill's high or anything like that, and he doesn't have enough, he'll wait till next year's budget to look at it.
So moved, Mayor, Atlantic Emergency Solutions for fire department.
Motion and second, do we have one?
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
That's all I have unless anyone has any questions.
Good job, Rick.
What did we find out on the cafeteria plan?
I got that sheet for you over here. It's basically a 125 plan. What it is we have to legally let our employees take benefits pre-taxed. We have to keep that. We have to have a cafeteria plan in place, and it has to be by a licensed insurance agent. Versa doesn't own, they don't offer that. So basically, it's somebody, it's either going to be Philip or Liberty that's doing it right now.
Is that the council? That's, no, that's the other.
That's all.
All
The whole, the plan is anything that's offered pre-taxed to employees.
But it's not we have to offer a cafeteria plan, it's if we offer a cafeteria plan, we have to go through.
If we offer plans that can be taken out pre-taxed, you have to have a cafeteria.
Okay.
Urban maintenance.
What information do we need to gather before we decide on something? On that.
See, we've always done this. We have a cafeteria plan.
Yeah.
We were just talking about switching who administers it.
Who does it?
What does the cafeteria plan cover? I mean, is it, what does it entail? I mean, is it life insurance? Is
Anything that can be taken out pre-taxed.
Okay.
So right now, our life insurance, our accidental, all that is taken out pre-taxed. To legally do that, you have to have a cafeteria plan in place. It wasn't kind of how I explained it originally when I was thinking you had to show that everyone was offered. It's more the IRS makes us have it, is the ones that are doing this. But basically, you have to keep track of anything you offer that can be taken out of a check pre-taxed. But I've got, meant to give this to you earlier on. Sorry. But this is FAQs about the cafeteria plan. And then this is Phillips, when Phillips messaged Beverly, that's his email explaining it. And then that is Juan's reply that does our pre-audit. And he obviously said we should move forward with it also.
So who currently manages that?
Liberty National.
Is there an
Good
issue?
contract with them?
Philip has asked to administer it. It's no cost, both of them do it for free. But what the perk is to administer the cafeteria plan, you have to have everyone in front of him. So he gets to see everyone to offer his insurance.
Where's Liberty out of? Who does it?
Where they're out of, Mr. Ryan?
Who's the Yeah.
Do we not need, do we not, my only concern is who offers the cafeteria plan for the town? Like how, my only concern is, are we exclusive with one person but not the next?
And both, like, I think both of them right now are doing it for free. We can have both of them do it. We just have to, the air side of it, we have to have a cafeteria plan in place in case we got it. To show
And you're saying they do it free?
they do. Yeah. But their part for doing it free is they get,
They can-
They
they
get
can
the
see everyone
They
face
get
to
the
face to try to sell their product.
Right, they get the opportunity to upsell.
If they sell or they don't sell.
Correct. You sign that you were offered, but you don't have to take it if you don't want to. Liberty, the way Liberty does their cafeteria plan, the way they administer it, is they automatically, no matter if you sign up with them or not, for nothing, every town employee has $1,000 life insurance policy while you work for the town. You have to sign to accept it or decline it. That's their that's how they get the cafeteria plans, they get everyone's signature, that they have been seen and talked to about the cafeteria plan.
So right now, they have $1,000 life insurance currently.
If they
Every
decide to
employee
take
that signed that thing.
correct. But this is just, like I said, this is, Philip has come to me for the last couple of years asking if he can administer the cafeteria plan instead of Liberty, because he wants to see our departments face to face. He administers the county's cafeteria plan.
He administers the counties,
Correct.
school board and all of them.
But I don't know how many different insurances they offer. I just know as long as I've been here, Liberty's done it. I did have Aflac, and they would come to the plants and give their spiel and show you the different packages they had, cancer, the accidental, all those
It's-
packages.
It's supplemental insurance.
Correct.
We offer full medical, full dental. This is extra,
Oh, yeah.
which supplements what the benefit we already have. Just so it's.
He is local.
Correct. Philip is, absolutely.
Let's get, y'all wanna let Philip administer this,
Yes.
everyone? Does that need a motion, Mr. Tiller?
Probably if you're changing, if you're changing agency.
Is there any issue letting them both?
I wouldn't say, I imagine there's an issue.
Where's he from? Do we know?
Philip.
Liberty? I know where Philip's.
Oh, no, I don't know Liberty, though. They're out of, I mean, they may even got state, I don't know where.
I'm good with Philip and Affleck.
If he's local and we don't know where the other guy's from, or we don't know him.
Need a motion
I'll
to do that.
I'll second. Philip,
Who made the motion?
Deanna
God.
made the motion
That's
and
right.
seconded it.
Oh, you made it.
She said a new place.
Yeah, that's right, she said you, that's pretty good, make the motion and second, I kinda like it. All right, Scott made it, she seconded. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you, Drew. Jesse,
Yes, sir.
up front, buddy. You got any good news tonight?
I know, Mr. Short had a lot to say about raw sewage, and, we've been knee deep too. Chief Deskins asked me to apologize, he's in Bible school this week, couldn't make it tonight. I'm hoping he comes back a new man next week. We had a good month, put in a total of 14,000 miles here in the town. We issued, our total cases and our written summons and written warnings was 164. That's a pretty good number. Total arrest was 21, which is a big number for us. We had 13 total vehicle crashes, 1 DUI arrest. We had 16 motorists, and we had a total of 864 calls for service last month. Total fuel was 1,162 gallons. Looks like, I think we had 133 summons and warnings, and our total criminal cases were 31 last month. We have stepped up our business checks here in the town. The next page of that, you can kind of see, they laid this out to where you can see each business we've been to. And we're working on that. Our night shift struggles with that because they're busy until midnight. After midnight, a lot of times nothing's open, but we're working on that. Our special agent Herb, he had a big month last month, had a couple of indictments, big numbers for him. It's a big number for our record services too. I can't remember the last time I saw 2 pages worth, but big month for us. Any questions I can answer for you?
Was it a big month for you?
It was a big month for us, big month for
Was
us.
it huge?
It was huge.
I do have one thing to add to that. First of all, thanks for taking care of Chief Deskins. I had a resident reach out to me on Cedar Avenue down here. She has a grandson that is hearing impaired, and Drew and the streets department and VDOT, we got a hearing impaired sign up coming both ways. She said still traffic is absolutely flying through Cedar Avenue. I don't know what, I know we've talked about speed bumps with VDOT in the past, and they said no way. If you don't mind, talk with the chief, maybe up the it's almost a 1 lane through there.
Yeah, it is.
So, just up the presence, even if you all need to do some community policing, which is like you've been out and about.
Yeah.
Stop through there, knock on some doors, and just let them know, hey, we're gonna be patrolling, there's a hearing impaired child lives here. We just need to try to slow it down.
We'll do it.
Thank you, sir.
Jesse, thanks, bud. Good report. Mr. Taylor?
I don't have anything at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Nothing. That's it. Okay, any other business?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we at committee reports, Mayor?
Yep, that's where we're at.
We had mentioned in the, well, let me mention this first. I meant to mention it when Drew was in his manager report. I'd like to establish a timeline with the town of Lebanon and Lane Group on our wastewater PER completion.
I meant to mention that after you mentioned that. I talked with Matthew Lane. Right now, for all 3 projects, not just the Big Cedar Creek project, but for all 3 projects, preliminary planning will be finished mid-August. Final plans will be finished in November. Advertisement will begin in January. So they'll leave the construction complete starting early spring of 26.
Can you put that in your manager report this week, Drew?
I will.
Yeah.
And then from the Parks and Rec committee meeting, Mayor, I'd like to open up discussion again about the handicap parking at the theater. I would like to see us do one of 2 things. Number 1 is preserve the 2 spots that we said that we would for Mr. Stinson's business. Either convert those from 4 spots to 3 spots and move them up the way and make the handicap spot a little bit wider. And that way they can have more of a drop-off zone to the right or towards the theater, or move to make two of the 4 spots handicap for our handicap patrons. I have to listen to Shane, seeing it myself, concerns that we have for some of our handicap folks that are attending the theater.
I think we actually need 2 handicap spots there. I mean, like he said, they can pull up there and, like 4 chairs and that kind of thing, but I think we actually need 2 spots there.
I agree.
So the original, if I remember correctly, the original plan was to eliminate the lower spot, have a handicap spot, which would be widened, and then the 2 spots in front of Mr. Stinson's be widened for their service vans, correct?
Yeah, he moved it up, we moved it up
We
the hill.
moved it up the hill a little bit, and then we
Yeah.
widened them coming down. And the last one was a widened handicap spot, which would also be van accessible. So if we go to, and I completely agree. I think there's several people that would like to utilize handicap spots there at the theater. I just don't know what the best thing is for those 4 spots. Because if we stay how we are and just add another handicap spot, we still have 4 parking spots there. That one's still down in front of the theater. But I think if we add 2, do we need one to be van accessible? Can we do that on the lower side?
But I think we don't have to have a van accessible, is my understanding from the code, but they would be able to unload on the lower side, like you said, towards the theater.
The first,
And the numbers are increasing down there. I
Oh,
mean,
oh,
it's growing down
It
there.
is. The, on Lower Street, do we have any marked parking on Lower Street?
Handicapped?
Any, period?
I don't think there's,
period.
I
No,
don't think
No,
you can
there's
have
no-
two-way,
Oh,
you
you
can have a
don't.
two-way street and have,
it's not, I don't, is that a two-way street? I don't think you can
oh,
turn.
excuse me. No, it's a one-way.
It's
street.
one way.
Yeah, I think we can have them, we have to check with the width on VDOT, Drew, but I think if we got in a bind and needed another handicap spot, I think we could put one between the pavilion and the realty office,
I think the incline is what got us there,
or
possibly.
the sidewalk,
Yeah.
or the curb.
Curb guys.
I think it was a curb and then unloading into traffic on that.
Hey, Drew, or we were there, when we met, if we go up the road, where do we talk, Randy, up toward the front of the business there? Do we have room to, if we do that, can we add those, have two spots on the lower end and still maintain those van spots? You remember? Is there enough room there, Zoe?
There's 4 spots now, there's three open spots and a handicap spot.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying if we move it up, can we create another spot?
No, no, we were only moving up, I think we were only moving up close to 2 foot, because once
Okay.
you get, and actually what we were doing, we were moving them up and tilting them out just a little, to keep them from being so steep. But we couldn't do that so much because they would be backing out perpendicular to the roadway.
Yeah.
It would become a safety issue, but
I think the only way to preserve two spots for Randy and get the two handicap spots is just keep the markings where they are. It's tight now, but apparently it's working for Mr. Stinson because, he has 3 vans there most of the time. And he hasn't said that, come to us about more room or widening those. So I'm gonna make a motion to add an additional handicap spot at the Russell Theater and leave the 4 spots, 2 for Mr. Stinson, and make 2 handicap.
Just come below the current one.
No, just the
you go above the.
one above the handicap spot. So it'd be, you with me, Drew?
Take 2 and leave 2, is that right?
Leave 2.
Just turn one of those into a handicap, is that right?
Right, yes, sir. One up the hill.
And we will be paving through there, correct?
That's the time to do it, yeah.
Okay, I would,
Is there a second to that motion?
When we do that, are we gonna fix that sidewalk in front of
in front of the theater.
that?
Yeah.
Well, we had
We
talked
talked about
about
doing
that beforehand, because we'd also talked about actually sealing that and then putting thermal lines on it, so it was really nice and apparent, but that sidewalk is cracked right there. I would be open to doing that one there, because I just think it would
I
change the
think it
whole
would help
appearance
a
right
lot
there.
there, say, that plus make it easier for handicap. But we can do that after it's paved, right, and still not hurt it.
I don't think we're gonna be repaving that, are we? Those spots?
Are we gonna repave that, or just?
Will that be milled out, Drew?
We can, it's whatever you want to do. That's why I was kind of an option now, because we're coming through there. If you want all that clean, looking clean to mill up, you come in. But if you're just doing what you're saying, just thermal over the current white line and have a handicap spot.
Yeah.
When are they scheduled to pave through there?
Monday, well, starting, beginning out here on Monday.
Still, no matter what, just like Leonard said, if we decide to do that, if we decide to do the concrete, that's not gonna tear the asphalt up anyway.
No, that we.
It's just like pouring a sidewalk.
Yeah, that's right.
So I would prefer, if we're gonna pave through there with VDOT money, I would prefer myself to seal that and then restripe it with thermal with new handicap. That way
So
it's
right now, the 2 options would be where we tile on is about where Lower Street comes out, Main Street, just tile on there with new pavement, new milling, and then come to the right of that and seal the old pavement.
I would like for it to all be black and nice, right
Right.
in front of the theater.
But not necessarily in front of the theater mill to repave it, seal it to match the new pavement, then come in and thermal all of it.
Correct. That's my opinion. There's several others.
With that being said, sorry, finish this up now.
Well, we've got a motion on the floor
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All right,
I just wanted to
can
see
you
how
read
long
that
you let
second, can you read that motion so I can,
Motion for an additional handicap spot there at the Russell Theater.
Essentially, the parking spots will stay the same, we're not taking one out, that way Mr. Stinson could still have his two, and we could have two for
so
him.
he's losing one, is my question.
He's not
actually
actually
really.
losing, buddy.
Okay,
Not really, it's what, like 2 feet?
Yeah.
okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign.
I did get a, talk with Mike Robinette and another sealing company, want to come look at the Old Mill Park parking lot to get that sealed off, to hopefully have it sealed in the next week or two while Clarebrook's in town, and go ahead and strike the wall in town.
Oh, good, good.
And you'll put the Russell Theater on concrete list wherever,
I think, Robbie Mead came back to work today.
I did. Good.
Who came back?
Robbie made.
Robbie
came
back?
back.
All right.
the only other thing I had, Mayor, under committees was kind of Parks and Rec and Finance. Shane had asked me about this. He asked about hospitality for talent. Did we want to provide hotel rooms for everybody that comes to the theater and performs, or do we just want to provide the hotel rooms for the main events?
I think we let hospitality get out of hand. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I don't see how you can pay $300 for a comedian to come and pay $168 for a hotel room. That doesn't make sense to me.
What is he defining as major event?
Our major, the ones that are listed in the
Oh,
brochure.
you talking about Cedar Fest?
Yeah, and then headliners.
Cedar Fest, beach party.
But it's almost sometimes when we're talking with Ken, I guess some of the times when we got that budget out there, we kind of need to know that stuff beforehand. Because sometimes we'll book a band and all of a sudden they'll call us Diane and want 10 rooms.
We got X number not coming.
Oh, yeah, definitely have to, we definitely need to know that. That's what I'm saying, that gets out of hand so quick, because if he quotes that band for $5,800, and we all agree to it, and we move forward, and then we get $5,800 plus $3,800 worth of hotel rooms and Red Bulls, and we've seen that.
You get hit that lot, man. On the rooms.
Yeah, specialty,
I'm not, like, we're not putting the local talent in the hotel, are we?
no.
Like from East Tennessee or Richlands?
I don't think the locals.
Does
For-
all of them ask
for-
for that?
What's the one coming that asks for 10 rooms?
I think it was Sister Hazel.
Sister Hazel requested 10 rooms.
Did we didn't honor that request?
Yeah, it's part of the contract.
So what about this, what about like, what was the gentleman from Tazewell, Richlands, that's come a couple times?
Noah
No.
Spencer.
Noah Spencer, do we do an actual contract with him, or do we just have him come and pay for the service?
A couple of times I think we've done a contract, but it's nothing, no rider involved in it. It's just his fee to play.
I mean, would it be unreasonable that if we do a contract, to either negotiate that one way or another, and if it's in the contract, we pay for it, but if we don't have a contract, we don't? Is that unreasonable, so that way Shane would know?
I think that's fine, because a lot of times it's hit afterwards, like after they're booked, then they'll call and want the rooms or, something.
So who booked Sister Hazel?
Ken, I guess.
Yeah, Ken. Which a lot of times they ask ungodly, but this year we're not doing that, where Angie's doing the food. I mean, they'll have, I think Sister Hazel's got about a page and a half of things they'd like to have.
And if you recall, I called Ken on some of that stuff, and he told me just to mark it out. And he tells
We did
what
this.
I do.
Before we sign, mark it out.
Yeah.
$5,000 show.
All right.
So are we going to do just our major events, plus whatever we have a contract, we will provide the rooms? And if they call wanting rooms after the contract, or is that unreasonable, Mayor, or what's your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts is, at this point, I guess I'm looking forward because all the major events that I consider the major talent, we've already signed a contract for.
Yeah,
All the way through the beach party.
yeah, I'm good with those, I'm good with
You're
those.
talking about next year moving forward?
No, I'm talking about like the comedians and
Oh.
the cover bands that come to the theater.
Yeah, I got you.
Those are the folks I'm talking about.
Covered, okay.
It's not really the local, it's kind of the middle of the line talent that we have at the theater.
Do we, how
Yeah,
much
that's
do you
usually
get
$1,000.
on that day?
It's,
Do the cover bands that come to the theater want a lot of rooms?
not a lot of rooms, but like the comedians, they wanted rooms maybe for 2 nights. I'm thinking the last ones that came,
2 nights.
maybe 2 nights,
Hmm.
you know.
Pre-game first night.
How about Shane have an understanding before that, like, let's just provide the rooms for the major events, and then if he needs, if they've got to charge more and we negotiate that, they may have to charge a little bit more if they understand that we're not paying for the rooms. I mean, is that unreasonable, Mayor?
I think as long as they know up front, it's
Yeah,
not
they didn't know up
unreasonable.
front though.
Yeah,
Be told them, once you sign this contract, we're not going to honor it. You
yeah.
need more rooms, you need more.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm making a note, I'm gonna talk to Kent about next year.
Well, that, we need to
I
talk,
messed up on that one. I did not know they wanted 10 daggone rooms, or I'd have fixed that pretty quick in the contract.
so we need to keep Shane in the loop too, and just say, hey, when you book talent, we need to know their ask.
Yeah,
What's the town being asked for?
sure.
That way it's up front.
Drew, just, let's make a note, moving forward here, on the issues. Well, we're, not just the rooms, I guess meals and all, right, Diane? We need to address all that. On the ask.
I mean, I'm definitely good with hospitality, keeping the green room stocked for any talent down there, definitely.
All right. Are we good on where we're moving forward? Drew, you got your notes on what we're wanting to do from Shane?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think I can still get that fixed. I think I know how to get that fixed. Let's put a burr on me, yeah.
Page and a half.
All right. Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll say,
Further discussion?
We give you plenty of time tonight
Thank,
work on it.
thank you all.
Time back, Mayor.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Adjourn to reconvene.
You'll have to handle that
Do what?
on the
you have to do
23rd.
both, make a budget motion and second.
Do what? I don't
Hey,
Wait a minute.
Adjourn
We
to
have to
reconvene.
adjourn to reconvene on the public hearing for the
Okay.
budget on the
And you
23rd.
won't be.
23rd, 5 o'clock.
So I won't-
23rd?
23rd, 5 o'clock.
What time?
It's
5 o'clock.
About 5.
Well, you can make it, you can always move it backwards.
That doesn't matter, I'm
It's
gonna
hard to move up and back, but it's just for public hearings, so.
Okay.
23rd,
That's all.
and then you're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah, on the 23rd, that's right, we'll have to adjourn to reconvene on the 30th.
Right.
Do that before the small business meeting.
All right, so, one at a time, you made the motion to adjourn to reconvene to the 23rd at 5 o'clock.
I'll second.
There we go. That's the only thing I'm worried about tonight, on reconvene. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.